What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory and welcome to your daily stock market technical analysis update. Today we saw the stock market going up across the board yet again, and we still see a very strong bull market. How high can this market possibly go, and are we even close to a stock market correction? First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so on the S&P 500 SPY ETF, we saw the price action going up 0.09% today, and that is a relatively flat day. However, we're still going up, and we still have price action closing over the 5 EMA. So like I always say, don't fight the trend and don't fight the price action, and we still see a very strong bullish trend with very strong bullish price action. We did close just above this 0.786 Fibonacci extension level at 384, and my price target on SPY is still way up here at $393. It looks like we're well on our way towards that level, and as long as this market continues to trend in the bullish direction, we're going to continue to expect SPY to reach that price target in the near future. Now don't forget, we did open a gap down here which won't close until a price target of 379. However, that gap is not likely going to close until we start seeing a stock market correction. As far as stock market corrections go, I really don't see any reason to believe that there is a stock market correction that is near. However, you always want to be prepared, and you always want to have some sort of cash position the higher the stock market goes. So the closer we get to my price target at 393, you will want to be slowly scaling into more cash if you are a trader. If you're an investor, of course, none of this applies to you and you're just going into it for the long haul, but you're probably not watching my channel. If you're an investor, you're probably more than likely a trader. So as traders, you have to be disciplined and you have to know to take some profits on the ride up towards these price targets. Now, as far as shorting goes and as far as being a bear goes, there's just no reason to be a bear or trying to short this market right now. The trend is extremely bullish and the price action is telling us that this market still wants to go higher. So remember, the stock market takes the stairs up and the elevator down, and we're still seeing the market going up on low volume, which is that stairs up, and eventually we will see a correction. But there's no reason to worry about when that's going to come. Just follow the price action and follow the trend and remain objective. There will also be support levels down here at 381, so there is a lot of support below here, and the strongest support is still going to be that 20 simple moving average right around 375. So while we could still see selling in the short term, I'm fully expecting to see these strong support levels hold up and find support and bounce off of these levels to continue to head higher in this market. Next up is the Nasdaq 100 QQQ ETF, and we saw the Nasdaq 100 having another beast of a day, going up 0.8%. And we're still extended fully outside that upper Bollinger Band, and we're way above the 5 EMA. So normally when I see price action like this, I say it's completely normal to see a retracement back inside the Bollinger Bands, and it would be completely normal to see some selling in the QQQ ETF. However, this market is still very strong, and a lot of those big tech blue chips that have been chilling out and cooling off are starting to show some signs of strength, and we're seeing that strength now in the QQQ ETF as a result of that. So it's not that surprising to see this powerful push that we've seen in the price action, but it is likely not sustainable, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some retracements back to this 321 level. That's also going to be right about where that 5 EMA is going to be, and don't forget there is a gap where we could find support at the top of that gap at 319 or the close of that gap around 317. Don't forget the strongest support is always going to be this 20 simple moving average in this bull market, which is now around 314. Now, I do have a new price target that I want you to pay attention to, and it is right around $330. My other price target is still fully relevant, which is right around 333, but I do think 330 will show us some strong resistance until we get to that 333 level. Now, a lot of you bears were saying these price targets were way too high and that we weren't going to hit them, but from today's close, we're only about 2% away from 333. So we're continuing to head higher in this market, and if you're still a bear in this market, you really need to do a gut check to see if you're being biased or staying objective. If you think you're being objective in this market and you have bearish tendencies, you might want to do a reality check, because there's nothing about these charts that show anything bearish. Next up is the Dow Jones DIA ETF, and we did see the Dow Jones go up and barely touch my price target before selling off and closing lower for the day. My price target is up here right around $312, and we have yet to break and close above that level on the Dow Jones. However, you could now say that all three indices have met at least their first price targets, but you can obviously see that the Dow Jones is lagging behind, and the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 are doing much better. The Nasdaq 100 is most likely going to continue to lead the way in this bull market, because these big tech blue chip stocks like Apple and Amazon and Microsoft usually lead the charge when we're talking about a secular bull market. So it's very clear that we are going into a secular bull market. I've been talking about this for a few months now, And the price action and the trend are only validating what I thought was true. We continue to head higher, and the trend for this bull market continues to strengthen, which means this is still a buy the dip stock market, and you don't want to get bearish just because we're trading at all-time highs. In a bull market, you are going to constantly be at all-time highs because that is the definition of a bull market. It's trending higher and it continues to blast through price target after price target and resistance level after resistance level. Next up is the ARK-K ETF, and we did see some selling in the ARK-K ETF going down negative 1.56% today and closing right on top of support at the 5 EMA, which is right around $144. I do think there's more upside in the ARK-K ETF because we still have a very strong bull trend and the price action is still closing over the 5 EMA. The price target you want to watch for on the ARK-K ETF is still up here at $149. Next up is the VIX, which is our fear indicator, and we see the VIX continuing to head lower, going down negative 1.2% today, and it does look like the VIX is starting to show some bearish momentum, and it looks like it is heading towards support at $20. So with low fear, I would expect to see the stock market continue to head higher to new all-time highs. Next up is the US dollar, and we see the dollar getting absolutely crushed today, closing below the 20 simple moving average, and we do see that bearish momentum starting to pick up, and we see that the price action is still failing to close above the 50 EMA. So with a negative sloping 50 EMA, it's very unlikely the dollar is going to reverse this bear trend until we get a price action close over the 50 EMA. So I still fully expect to see the dollar continue to weaken and head down towards my support level at $89. A weak dollar should be a strong stock market. Next up is gold, and we saw gold holding up above support at $1862, and it does look like we're closing back above the 50 EMA for 2 days in a row now. So all we need on gold is a price action close over the 20 simple moving average, and then gold could start to run in another bull market. So gold's looking really good, and my price target on gold is up here at $1930. Next up is silver, and we see silver closing over all the moving averages except for the 20 for 2 days in a row, and we're very close to closing over that 20 simple moving average. I think silver and gold are going back into a bull run, and my price target on silver is up here at $26.56, and if we break and close over that, we're likely heading to $28 on silver. Next up is Bitcoin, and we did see Bitcoin breaking out of both of my wedges, which are consolidations, which could break to the upside or the downside, and we are seeing some bearish momentum picking up on Bitcoin because that 5 EMA is now crossed below the 13 EMA. As far as Bitcoin support levels go, watch the 50 EMA, which is right around 29,000, and there is another support level just below that at 28,000. You don't want to try to catch a falling knife, and Bitcoin could easily drop 30 to 50% at the drop of a hat. So be patient on Bitcoin and let it find a bottom before you start buying in. My price target on Bitcoin is still up here at 42,700, and I am still bullish in the long term on Bitcoin. However, that doesn't mean that it can't have a significant correction or drop before we start heading higher. Next up is Amazon stock, and we saw Amazon following through today, going up 1.34%, but still failing to break above my price target at $33.23. So in order for Amazon to head higher, we need to get a price action close over that resistance level, and we could still come back down and test support at 3,200. So Amazon is looking a lot better, and we are seeing some bullish momentum picking up, but we still need to get that price action close over 33.22 before we know that we're going to start running because we're still stuck in consolidation. Next up is Apple stock, and we saw Apple stock absolutely going beast mode today, going up 3.67%, and it does look like we closed over that resistance level by just a little bit, which is right over that $136 price target that I had. So for the benefit of Apple, it could still dip and cool off from here, but it does look like it's trying to get to $141 in a hurry. You could see a really nice cup pattern forming, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a handle before we head higher, but I'm still very bullish on Apple, and like I always say, this is a market moving stock, so if Apple is heading higher, you should expect to see the rest of the stock market head higher with it. On the financial sector, we see a little bit of cooling off, but we still have a very strong bull trend, so we could continue to head higher once we find support. On the industrial sector, we're cooling off as well, but we're over the 20 simple moving average with a strong bull trend. On the healthcare sector, we're still closing over the 5 EMA, and we have a very strong bullish trend, so the healthcare sector looks like it's still ready to continue to head higher. So going back to the S&P 500, we do see some of the sectors cooling off, but they still have bullish trending going on. We see the VIX heading lower, which means low fear, and we see the dollar also trending lower, which is bullish for the stock market. So with bullish trending across the board, a weak dollar, and low fear, it's very likely that the S&P 500 SPY ETF is going to continue to head higher towards my price target at $393. So I'm still very bullish on the stock market because the price action and the trend are telling me to remain bullish. Remember, we're following the trend right here on the stocks channel, and we're not trying to call a top, and we're not becoming bearish just because we're heading to new all-time highs. Don't forget to check us out at the Stocks Channel Discord if you're looking for a disciplined and profitable trading community. You can find out how to join by clicking on the link in the description of the video. So next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the Stocks Channel Hot Stocks. Alright, first up on the hot stocks, we're gonna take a look at Tesla stock, but I have a quick question for all of you. Let me know if you are getting tired of seeing Tesla, NIO, and PLTR on hot stocks, and I can switch it up. I know these are some popular stocks, but I want to hear it directly from you if you want to see me continue to cover Tesla, NIO, and PLTR. Alright, so jumping right into Tesla stock, we see the price action going down negative 0.64% today, but we're still closing over the 5 EMA with a bullish trend. So because we have bullish price action and bullish trending, I still have to go ahead and say that I do think Tesla is going to continue to head higher towards my price target at 906. Remember, this stock is one of those stocks that I can't suggest chasing, but it also is not one of those stocks that I can suggest selling if you're already in it. This stock still has plenty of upside, and it does look like it can blast right through the $900 levels once it starts picking up bullish momentum and starts trending higher. We do have earnings coming up next week, and there could be an earnings push. So just be patient, and as long as this chart is bullish, we're going to remain bullish on Tesla stock. Don't forget, it's very possible we come all the way back down to the 20 simple moving average and find support, which is all the way down here at 766. So there's plenty of risk in this stock, and it's not like a no-brainer, knock it out of the park stock where you're just going to make profits if you buy. Just remain disciplined and follow the trend, and right now the price action and trend are telling us to remain bullish on Tesla stock. So therefore, I'm going to remain bullish on Tesla stock. So if you're thinking about shorting Tesla stock, don't even bother. Just give me your money and I will light it on fire for you, which fits the hot stocks theme. So next up, let's take a look at NIO stock, and we saw NIO going up over 1% today, and it still looks bullish, and it still looks like it wants to head higher towards $65. The price action closed right on top of the 5 EMA, and we still have a very strong bull trend. So it does look like NIO wants to finish doing this correction pattern that it's in and start heading higher towards 65 in the very near future. If we can break and close over 65, it does mean that NIO stock could be heading up towards $70. So I'm still bullish on NIO, and the chart still looks like it has a lot of strong bullish momentum, and it looks like NIO stock wants to continue to head higher. Next up is PLTR stock, and I know this stock looks like it's completely going nowhere and it's still stuck in consolidation, but as you can tell from this chart, we are at the pinnacle of decision for this stock, and it's going to make a huge move either in the up direction or the down direction in the very near future. So I still have this stock as a hold, and I can't issue it a buy until I see which direction this consolidation is going to break. There is support down here at $25, but if we break out of this wedge to the downside, there could be more support down here at 23 or all the way down at 21. So we want to be patient on this stock, and we don't want to make any assumptions that it's going to break to the upside, because you never know in consolidation, and it could just as likely break to the downside. So being patient on PLTR, and I'm not ready to call this stock a buy just yet. We need to be a little more patient and watch the price action for a few more days. Next up is Zoom stock, which I am extremely bullish on this stock still, and you can see why today, because this dip got absolutely eaten up, and we did trade as low as 372 intraday, and we closed as high as 382 by the end of the day. So this stock is getting completely eaten up by the bulls, and they want this stock at lower prices, but they're going to have a lot of trouble getting this stock at lower prices because the stock wants to absolutely rip and run higher. My price target on Zoom is still up here at $418, and it is absolutely a buy the dip stock that I'm extremely bullish on. So I have Zoom in the Discord server with a bunch of entries and exits, and we're going to continue to trade this stock as long as it's going to give us easy money and easy profits. Remember, I got you into Zoom earlier this week at 337, and on Monday night I said this stock was ready to run. My price target's at 418, so pay attention to the buy and sell signals on hot stocks, because if you are, you should be absolutely crushing it. Next up is a brand new hot stock that I'm bringing to you for the first time, and this is Salesforce.com Incorporated, and the ticker symbol is CRM. Salesforce is one of those stocks that I'm very bullish on, and it's been in a long consolidation, and it does look like it's finally starting to break out, and it looks like it's ready to run. You can see Salesforce broke out, and we have 2 daily price action closes over that 20 simple moving average, and the 5 EMA is starting to cross over the 13 EMA, so we're building some bullish momentum. My first price target I have on CRM is at 232, and the second price target is at 238. So I do think this stock is heading higher, and I do think we finally saw the bottom on Salesforce, and it's ready to start running. So this is a brand new hot stock. This is the first time you're seeing this stock on hot stocks. So I hope you're paying attention, and if you've been following along on hot stocks, you know a lot of these hot stocks, I'm getting you in on the ground level, and they become runners very quickly. So pay attention to these stocks, and if you want more hot stocks, come check us out at the Stocks Channel Discord. You can find out how to join by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market and making a ton of profits. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.